Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized, brought to you by Forged Irish Stout. Ross.
Are you intoxicated or something?
Introduce the guest, man.
Today we're bringing you the big dogs of PFL Dublin. This is a $200,000 show. We've got the Cork Horse Box, John Mitchell, and the Black Mamba, Frans Mlambo. Lads, how we doing?
All good. All the better for talking to you boys.
Yes. All good, man.
Welcome
Boys,
to the show, lads.
The countdown is on PFL Dublin. John, you're obviously off in sunnier pastures at the moment. How much are you looking forward to getting home to this Irish weather to have a scrap in the Three Arena?
I'm mostly looking forward to the scrap more than the Irish weather. You know, I haven't been back in Ireland in about well over a year and a half now, so I've missed it, you know, and it makes good sense to come back there to fight someone, so I can't wait.
Absolutely. And then, Frans, you fought in the Three Arena before, but this time it's for a bigger paycheck on a bigger stage. How much are you looking forward to this, and how much are you relishing fighting in Dublin?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. I was down at the Three Arena there yesterday, just doing interviews and stuff like that, and just get really excited. About it. You know what I mean? So I just really can't wait.
John, obviously you're fighting Jacob Kasuba. I think that's how you say it. Obviously, he's an undefeated professional. He just beat fellow Irishman Dylan Tuke in the last fight. Do you have to get this win back for Ireland? And what's it like fighting someone on such a big stage who is undefeated? Does that add a bit more pressure for yourself?
You know, the way it always works for me is like, firstly, my best fights have always been like the bigger ones. Like my pro debut couldn't have been more pressure. It was Cage Warriors Cork. You know what I mean? Half the city went to that fight and half the city have booked tickets for this. But ultimately, I could be fighting them outside in the car park before, and it's still just going to be an MMA fight. So I got to get it back for Cork. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just can't wait to do it now. I don't feel like pressure is a privilege in this sport. Like there's so many people in Cork behind me for this, so I just can't wait to prove them all right again.
That's actually exactly true. Pressure is a privilege in this sport. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it really is, man. It really is. Like we're so like, I feel so lucky to be in this position. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy to represent everyone now and go get it done like I always do.
Yeah, but it's also great for the people knowing that loads of people are really interested in the fight as well, because a lot of people do fight on big stages and people don't really talk about it. But obviously, you lads have a really big fight coming up as well, so people are dying to see what you have to say, and they cannot wait to tune in as well.
100%, man. Like, you know, this is like the first fight that people are coming up to my mother and coming up to my father and like saying, like, geez, did you hear this is happening? Like, it's mental. Like, even where my sister walks to work, in Dublin, there's a picture of me, and it's just now it's really kind of raining home to my family and the people around how big a stage this is. So it's good. It's great.
Can't wait to vandalize that poster.
You won't be the first one, I'd say.
Frans, you'll give us a hand, yeah?
That's it.
You'll give us a hand to vandalize that poster, yeah?
Not at all, man. I wouldn't be vandalizing that and flipping to do with John Boy.
Hey, look at that, Frans Mlambo, clean as a whistle. Frans, you've obviously trained with your opponent come fight night. So what was that like? How often did you train together, or for how long did you train together? And would that play any factor on fight night?
We trained together for a while. Like he was at SPG for a few years, you know what I mean, on and off type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Because Mandy, his wife, was training with us for a while, and he was there every single time she was there. Sparred him a few times, trained there. Like, you mean, he was one of our training partners for a good while. And then he wasn't for a while as well. Do you know what I mean? I've never had that. And I think I was lucky enough to not have had that until now, where, you know what I mean, I fought somebody I've trained with. But, you know, it's not something I want, but now that I have it and it's right in front of me, it's, do you know what I mean? I've accepted it and it's good, and I'm actually happy to be fighting this guy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because everybody is looking at him like he's the danger in this fight, and you know what I'm saying? I'm the one to be careful, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I have this guy. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm just really excited about it, and the fact the stage it's on as well, that it's in Dublin. It's the final of the PFL flipping championship. It's just perfect for me, man. So I'm really excited to get it done. Do you know what I'm saying? And that flipping thing there, I'm going to be quoting that for years. That pressure is a privilege. That just makes perfect sense. That's like, so I've thought of that, but just never been able to say it like that. That's fantastic.
I got you, bro. I've loads of expressions for you. Don't worry.
John goes to Thailand and he just writes poetry, doesn't he? Right?
Well, look, it's good poetry, isn't it? Like,
it's beautiful.
It's
shedding a tear.
The daily affirmations are paying off here, lads. The daily affirmations are paying off.
Nice.
Franz, just to touch on the actual fight itself, obviously he's a massive finisher. He's got heavy hands and that. We've seen you in your past fights show some great counter striking and stuff like that. Is there going to be a slightly different game plan for this one with the danger that this man possesses?
No, like, I've dealt with power. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, he's like, I don't even know if I can even say. Yeah, it probably is the hardest puncher I'm going to have to fight. But I've dealt with that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? That's not something. Do you know what I mean? There's other things that people have that as just as dangerous. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a striker. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm used to trying to not get hit. Do you know what I mean?
Too slick.
Do you get what I'm saying? I'm hitting you as well. I've trained with this guy. I know this guy, so we're good to go, man. Trust me.
That's probably the best opponent for you, Frans. Someone with heavy hands just trying to take you out, like, you know what I mean? Because that's someone that's going to walk onto shots. You know, that's great for you.
All day.
We saw what happened at the weekend, Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich. So we saw what someone coming in with the heavy hands, and Tom Aspinall's father, as head coach, said to him, the first thing that you're taught come fighting is to not get hit. So it's something Frans Mlambo is pretty good at. So hopefully it stays that way come fight night, because we want to see it.
Yeah. By the way, lads, have you two lads ever trained together as well?
No, not. We've actually shared a few cards now together, which is good.
We've hung. That's about it.
No, you definitely, when you both win the $100,000 and the belt each, you're gonna have to do a bit of training together.
He fought my brother twice. You know that, boys.
Yeah, Kenny Mokunowana.
Yeah.
He won both times. Am I wrong? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, he was number one and Kenny was number two.
Yeah. And you know what though? That was the time I couldn't get a fight for I couldn't get an amateur fight for 6 months. I beat everyone, and Kenny was the only one that would fight me at the time. So me and Kenny, I feel have always had a really good relationship since then. We still stay in touch, you know.
Yeah, Kenny was in CMAC at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Trip down memory lane here, lads. Trip down memory lane.
Shout out to Kenny as well, by the way.
It's a small world, boys. It's a small league country.
Ireland's a small place, you know. You walk out the door and you know everyone.
I love it. And then, John, obviously you showed some unbelievable wrestling in your road to the PFL Europe final, and so Jacob. Do you think that could be one of the defining factors? Who's better with the wrestling?
Not at all, man. I always think it's so funny the way it works in MMA. You know, when I made my pro debut against Eric Nolan, and I just kept it on the feet because that's what I wanted to do. Everyone said that I could only strike. You know what I mean? And then I went wrestling a few boys. It was funny when I fought in India, I knocked the guy out before. So when I fought the Indian guy, he's like, oh, he's afraid of wrestling. All he can do is box. So then when I fought Gason, because he's a striker, I smashed him on the ground wrestling. So now they're thinking all I can do is wrestle. So you know what I mean? It's just people have. It's so funny. What's my background? Do you know what I started in? Boxing and Thai boxing. I had so many fights in that before I ever thrown an MMA glove. You know what I mean? So it's definitely not just going to come down to the wrestling. What I think what differentiates me in my bracket is I can fight anywhere. You know what I mean? I wrestled Gason because that's what it made sense to do, and now I'll pick what to do against Jacob, whatever makes the most sense. You know.
You know what, Baz? They keep on answering the questions, and John Mitchell keeps on changing the question. You know, I love it.
True politician.
Yeah, John. You see what you said there? You'll do what needs to be done. Do you already have a plan of what you're gonna do, or you're saying you're gonna just do what needs to be done during the fight?
So I remember us actually talking about this a couple of times, Frans, and I think this is one maybe we differentiate. So what I love to do is I always go back training after, and I'll do 2 weeks with my full coaching panel, just breaking down what this guy does well and what he doesn't do. And then I'll make in the fight. Obviously, in the fight, there's going to be some shots you see and some shots you don't. But we get a loose plan of what we're going to do to him. You know what I mean? When I fought Gason, I was like, the plan is to get the takedown now. you can't say 2 minutes into the fight I'm going to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you just see how the fight goes. Then so far, Jacob, like we have a loose plan of what to do, and then we'll just see how it unfolds in the fight. You know.
Someone give Frans Mlambo a pair of glasses and the Forge Irish hat because he's coming for everything we work for.
That was a great question.
It was. Best question of the show so far. Now I feel the pressure. Frans, I'm going to come to you with this one. Obviously, you fought in a quarter-final and a semi-final, and now you're in a final. Does anything change? Was your preparation any way different going into the fights? Being like, oh, well, if I win this, I fight again in X amount of weeks. Now knowing that like you don't have a set next day for your next fight after this one, does that make things any different?
Just keep training. Like it just that's what I mean. Like, you know, when you know you have a fight, you know what I mean? Everything is different. You do everything different. Do you know what I mean? And that's just the way it's been the whole time. Do you get me?
Yeah, no, 100%. It was just one of those ones where like win this fight and you're fighting again in 8 weeks' time. You know what I mean? Like, I was just wondering, does that change any preparation or does that change how you approach the fight? Because, you know, you might be like, right, well, I'll keep my distance more in this one. Don't want to get caught or anything along those lines. But I suppose you have to give out each one 100%. You know,
just comparative to who I'm fighting, not at all, man. I just keep doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? I just keep improving on what I have. Do you know what I mean? Because I already have, like, I'm already elusive as it is. I'm a striker. You know what I mean? I'm already hard to hit as it is. Do you get me? So that's already something I possess. I just need to work on, do you know what I mean, getting better on what I think I'm not so good at. And that's just what I've been continuing to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, definitely.
Lads, I have to ask you this as well, right? You've obviously both been around a few different organizations, and now you've found a home in the PFL. Like, what can you make any comparisons with how well you're being trained with PFL compared to any of the other organizations you've fought on? John, I'll ask you first, but
yeah, it's great, man. Like, you know, what I liked about PFL is the owner. Like, the owner was the guy that met us, and like he like got me to sign my contracts for the pay and everything. And it seems like a good family organization. Like, I've absolutely no complaints. Even like when that last situation came up with your man missing weight by 3.5 kg, like even then they were like very good and like very like they talked it through with me and made good decisions. So yeah, no complaints. And Joe, they're paying us well. So happy days.
Yeah.
Joe, it's not Cage Warriors, like, you know what I mean? It's much better.
What about yourself, Frans?
Yeah, look, to be honest, I'm happy enough with the PFL, but like if I'm totally gonna be honest, like when I initially signed to this, I was 100% under the impression that $1 million tournament was going to be in 24, and then just to find out there, like in Paris, that that's not the case, was, you know what I mean, was very disappointing. So now I have to wait an extra year for that big tournament instead of like a few months. Do you know what I'm saying? And who knows what could happen in that long period of time. Like, so that's the only disappointing thing. But other than that, like, fight week is amazing with them so far. You know what I mean? They take care of everything. Like, I lost my wallet at one point in Paris, and they sorted that out straight away. Do you get what I'm saying? So they take care of you. There's good things ahead. And I'm happy to be in such an organization. I'm fighting in Dublin.
No, well, I think what will happen is, like, obviously, if two of you get 2 knockout wins first round and they go mad viral, like they're going to be held to ransom to put you into the tournament next year. That's what I believe. Ross, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think, like, obviously, first things first. You know, come December 8th. Let's get 100K in the bank account and go from there, and then hopefully, like, you'll get the marquee matchups. Like, if PFL come back to the well here in Dublin, maybe they, you know, Frans Mlambo versus Dominic Wooden 2 was like one of the showcase matches, like, that's got big grudge there, and like, you know, the ticket sales are whopper, and there could be more opportunities to fight, and there could be bigger shows time and time again, and especially like the way that French show exploded, you know what I mean? And now we have Dublin, like, things are going to be crazy. Like, and it's not like the German show was a slouch either, you know what I mean? But I think when Doumbé came out and won and Mbappe was in the crowd, like, that was a different gravy altogether.
Bro, the French show was mad. Like honestly, like, you know, when I was walking out, like, it actually felt like, because I was fighting that French guy, wasn't I? So, you know,
Yeah.
and so was Frans, like, you know,
Yeah.
bro. When I was walking out, it actually felt like the stadium was vibrating from how much I was getting booed. Like you know, bro, it was class. After I won, you know, because you're all adrenaline up. Like after I won, I like tried go out to the crowd and be like, and what? And the security was like, don't do it, bro. He was like, not even saying it. He was like saying it for my own safety. He was like, go back in that cage quick, like, you know what I mean? It was mental, bro. When Doumbé knocked out Zebo, it was insane, man. Like,
it was crazy.
Yeah, no, the French crowd are pretty good.
And you know what?
Yeah,
They're not like the Irish now, but they're good.
John was saying to me, he was saying about, yeah, man, like going to fight Doumbé. He was like this guy doesn't realize. He was like, they're feeding him to the lions. Like, he was like, this is not gonna end good for him. Like, and then with the pillow and all, and then but there's some guy said to me, he was like, listen, like, imagine if he doesn't actually win, and then for him to actually just do that so quick, I was like, I was just shocked. Do you know what I'm saying? It was just surreal. Like, do you know what I mean? For him to do the whole thing with the pillows and literally just sleep him instantly was amazing.
Bro, he walked out with a mattress. Do you remember, bro? He walked with a mattress. Like, he doesn't win straight away. Like, this is the most embarrassing thing ever. And then he knocked him out, like, asleep.
Stop.
Still have nightmares over that as well.
Yeah. I don't know what I do. I don't know what I do.
Bro, it'd be too much, like.
Yeah, but the thing is, also going into 2024 as well, PFL are now going to be doing more shows in like Australia. They're going to be doing stuff in, is it Saudi or Qatar?
Yeah, Saudi, yeah.
Saudi, yeah. So I mean, so there's going to be way more bigger opportunities as well. And like, this is it only really feels like the beginning.
This is it as well. That's why, I know. Like, that's why I'm kind of, even with that disappointment, I know PFL has, like, serious potential. So I'm happy to be part of it as well. You know what I mean? At the same time. So you got to take the good with the bad, I guess.
And also, like, I don't know whether they'll solely do the tournament format forever. You never know if they'll change that eventually, because they're going to eventually build marquee stars that, like, they'll want to tap into that pay-per-view market, and they'll want to tap into, like, this is our bantamweight champion. We also have this other fighter who's very well recognized, and, like, we want them to fight each other. We don't want to, like, leave it per chance in a tournament. We want them to actually just have the knock. You know what I mean? Because it gets like that. You know what I mean? Like, put it this way, like, if you look at, like, the UFC, like, you have McGregor and then Chandler, you're like, right, we're just going to make that match. It doesn't really matter where they are in the rankings. That's the one that people are looking to see at the moment. And, like, who's to say with PFL in a few years, even a year's time, who knows? And you can build hype over nothing that people are
it's without doubt that will happen. Like, of course, that type of stuff will definitely happen. You know what I mean? Because even with my division, like, it's only new. You know what I mean? I understand that as well. The reason it's taken so long is because it is a new division. You get what I'm saying? In the PFL, and John, like, could very well have that $1 million tournament next year because his division has been there. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's different in that way. So you know what I mean? It's all new, and in the future, shit will be all good, man. I think so.
Just keep loading up that Brinks truck and reversing it back into Frans Mlambo's gaff, and you'll be happy.
This is what I'm saying.
He just wants to be paid for that graft.
Yeah,
he's not asking for much, you know. But guys, like, this event as a whole is going to be insane. I'll ask the two of you the same question. John, bar your own fight, and you can't pick Frans either. Which fight are you looking forward to on the card?
Nathan Kelly, man. Nathan Kelly's, like, his fights are class, aren't they? Like, I'm actually looking forward to seeing Andreas as well. You know what I mean? Andreas is ever since myself and Andreas fought, we've been good friends. You know what I mean? So, like, Andreas been knocking boys out as well, and Nate's been. I think Andreas and Nate are probably going to win in the first round by knockout. Like, so both those lads. What's class for me is like to come up with these guys. You know what I mean? It's unreal because, you know, it's such a hard sport for people to have kept it on. And then the fact that these guys did keep it on with me, and now we're all on the same show is class, bro. Even you, Frans, like, you know, way back in the day, like when I first came to this sport, bro, before I had any fights, I remember you were matched to fight my coach, like. You know what I mean? Yeah,
No
bro.
way.
You know what I mean. So now that we're on the same thing, and it was man, it's a buzz. It's class. You know, I love to see it. Like
That's gas.
Jesus, John fought Fran's brother, and then Frans meant to fight John's coach, and here they are, absolute bestos. What about yourself, Frans? Who are you looking forward to seeing fight in the card?
To be honest, to not pick the obvious ones like John did, you know what I'm saying? Flipping, I feel like the Valentina fight, which one is going to be
with
class.
Dakota.
The Dakota, yeah. Do you know what I mean? That fight is going to be savage. I can't wait to see it. Because I've been training with Valentina, man, and she's real scrappy. And Dakota is a savage as well. So I think that fight is underrated enough, man. So I can't wait to see that one above all the rest of them as well that are going to be savage. Do you know what I mean? But I think that's one of the non-obvious ones to look out for. You know what I'm saying?
also the light heavyweights, light heavyweight final, bro. That's going to be sick, bro. I forgot about that one, man.
Yeah, because I'm only thinking of all the Irish lads.
Yeah, same.
But yes, man, that's got to be so.
The other lad can scrap, you know. Like Simeon Powell can fight really well as well, but the other lad's got power in his hands, man. That's a great fight.
Frans, talk about getting the bag early on in your career. I think this will be Valentina's 4th fight, and she could walk out with 100 grand in the bank. That's not bad, is it?
It's not bad at all, man. It's not bad at all. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. So, look, that's the thing. Look, there's 4 25-minute fights. You know, there's 400 grand on the line for the championships. There's some other bangers on the card. Like, PFL have really stacked the deck in terms of the fights. Like, the matchups are all really, really sexy as well. Like, there's very few, like, squash matchups, you'd say, on the card. And I'm dying to see it. And then, obviously, just to give young Nate the Great Kelly a shout out as well, like having an amateur fight on the card as well. Like that's just really cool, and I hope Dan Hardy is a man of his word, and going forward we'll see 3 or 4 amateur fights on the card, because it's great to see young amateurs like that get put on a big stage in a big arena. You know, before they go pro, they get to make that walk and you know, feel those butterflies and feel those nerves, because I can't wait for it.
100%. You know, like you were saying there, Frans, is actually so true. Do you know, 3 years ago, I like made my pro debut, 3 or 4 years ago, and do you know how much I got? I got 500 euro.
No way.
You know what I mean? You'd be better off on welfare. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, man.
You
and
pay
because
more medical than that. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, tell me about it, man. Fuck me. And as well, because I won that fight, my next fight went up 750 euro. I was buzzing.
Sure, what's called when you're living that high life in Dubai, you'd spend more than that on a pair of shoes over there, John.
Depends, you can get fake shoes too for cheaper.
See that? There's the brains. There's the brains.
That's the cork in you, man.
Yeah, I tell you.
Lads, I just want to say thanks a million for joining us. Really enjoyed the show. Shout out to Frans, like the third member of the Energized show. Asked all the good questions, making our questions look bad, you know.
Boys,
absolute gents.
don't forget to send over the check, actually, by the way.
Well, it's on the way. It's on the way. Guys,
you must have a few more questions.
Yeah, John's appetite hasn't been satisfied by our questions. He only wants Fran's questions going forward. With that being said, Frans, anything to say before we let you go?
No, John, here, bro. Can't wait to see you, yeah?
You too, Frans.
Yeah. Still on flipping December, boys. Let's flip it, do it. Energized. Let's get it done, son.
Yeah, can't wait for it. I love it, guys. I love it. Hopefully we'll try and bring a few Forge Irish Stouts down to the venue and crack some cans, Stone Cold Steve Austin style, after the fights.
John, is there anything else to say to the people going to be tuning in to watch you fight on the 8th of December?
Nah, look, I just can't wait. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. I think my whole career I've kind of been fighting for relevancy here. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, you know, when I was on the front of that poster, it meant a lot to me, even though it's kind of trivial, because you know what? Initially, I was on the start of the card and they were mentioning me last, like the whole of my career. And now they have to put me on the poster, and now I'm going to win this belt. And then all the hype's on me again. It's just another step in the right direction, and I did it all the hard way. So yeah, I just can't wait to represent everyone that's supported me, even when I had nothing. So it's going to be good.
Love it.
There we have it, guys. The Cork Horse Box, the Black Mamba, 2 of the best we have to offer. Coming for everything at PFL Dublin. $200,000 coming in the bank account. ASAP Rocky. Can't wait to see it. Guys, thanks a million for joining us. If you're watching this, make sure to like, share, subscribe. And as always, stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.